conflict in Gaza. Do you agree with that sentiment that, and even Richard Parker, the new mayor, said that the party needed to work to attract voters that they may have lost over this issue? Do you agree that this could be a factor, perhaps, when it comes to marginal seats, even when we come to the general election?
Well, that's where things get complicated. Do I think that there is evidence that it had an impact in these local elections? Yes, I do. Do I think that it will have an impact at the general election? Then things do get more complicated. The first point I would like to make is that the British Muslim community is a very varied group, and they do not all vote the same way or behave the same way. It would be wrong to suggest that they do. But it's worth keeping in mind that the areas where there are large proportions of British Muslims, they tend to vote Labour very strongly. Jess Phillips' constituency, for instance, has a large British Muslim population, and she won with twice as many votes as the next person in the contest. If a proportion of those people did abandon Labour at the general election, whenever that may be, it's likely that the constituency would still stay with Labour. The margin of their victory may be reduced, but the number of seats in which that actually had an impact would be very small. And then also there's the fact that people vote differently at local elections than they do at general elections. People may be far more willing to vote in protest of what they see as the situation in Gaza as it stands at the moment, but come a general election, they may think about national issues and the incoming government instead. And then lastly, it's worth pointing out that there's not a general election now, and there may not be a general election until November, December, perhaps even January. By then, the situation in Gaza and the situation with British parties of all colours responding to that situation may have changed significantly. Admittedly, it might have got worse, but it may have got better. And it's either way, it's likely to have changed. And so the party position at the moment may not affect where things are then. It's worth keeping in mind that when we have polled the British people on their attitude to the situation in Gaza, what we see time and again is sympathy for the Palestinian people and sympathy for the Israeli people. This is not an either-or contest. The vast majority of people in this country, whatever their background, want an end to violence, they want the release of hostages, they want a peaceful settlement, and they want long-term peace in the region. And I don't think any of the major political parties in this country would disagree with that.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe Twyman, for crunching through some of those local election results and the mayoral contest and what they might mean. And I think the overall takeaway, of course, is that it was a really dire weekend for the Conservative Party, and particularly what happened here last night in the West Midlands really did cement that weekend and, of course, highlight the successes that the Labour Party had in this recent wave of elections. But as Joe was saying there, anything can change when it comes to a general election.
That's my colleague Regina Weidenarden in Birmingham. Now, we are still actually waiting for 3 results in the election. The BBC News live page, which has been up and running since Thursday, still going strong. So the ones we are looking out for are councillors in Salford, that's the Salford City Council, and then there are 2 crime and police commissioner elections that we are waiting for in Kent and Sussex. Those all expected around this afternoon. Timings, of course, as you will know if you've been with us over the last couple of days, will change when election results are called, but the BBC News live page will, of course, have the very latest for you, and they have got more reaction and more fallout from the results from Thursday's local elections in England. Now, the family of the 14-year-old boy who was killed in a sword attack in northeast London on Tuesday say they are devastated by his death. Daniel Anduran died in Hainault on his way to school. A local church service to remember his life will take place today, as Simon Jones reports.
A community in shock. A community that will come together today with a church service to mark Daniel's life. A boy described by his family as loving, amazing, precious. In a statement they said, "We as a family are devastated by the loss of our beloved son Daniel. It is difficult for us at this time to process what has happened to him and that he will never come home. Daniel had left the house for school and then he was gone." His favourite football team, Arsenal, paid tribute to him in the 14th minute of their match against Bournemouth.
14-year-old Daniel Andrew, big down by a slowly sword on his way to school.
2 police officers and 2 members of the public were also injured in the sword attack last Tuesday. Daniel's family said they would like to
You
send
told
their
me
best wishes
yesterday,
to
I
them
don't care.
following what they called this unthinkable incident. They also thanked the local community for their support. Marcus Monzo has been charged with murdering Daniel. He's also been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of causing grievous bodily harm. He will next appear in court on Tuesday. Simon Jones, BBC News.
A support group for survivors of the Manchester Arena bomb attack is calling for the Co-op Live Arena to postpone gigs until they can ensure the venue is ready. A spokesman for the venue said it couldn't and wouldn't operate any show or event without all necessary approvals. Our culture reporter Noor Nanji has more.
Fans arriving last night to see the American rapper A Boogie with the Hoodie. They did this already on Wednesday at the Co-op Live venue, but that gig was called off at the last minute due to technical reasons. The concert was then moved to rival AO Arena.
Here you go.
We booked hotels and everything, and now we have to come here, so it's a bit annoying. Like,
I was fuming, so we got a taxi. We got out of the taxi and it said cancelled. We met people who travelled from Wales, Liverpool, and it was like a major inconvenience.
But you're here now, so you're excited?
Super excited,
Yeah,
yeah.
The UK's largest arena has been hit by setbacks, which its owners, Oakview Group, have blamed on defects with part of its ventilation system. It has said it is taking a short pause to fully ensure the safety and security of fans and artists visiting the venue.
This venue should be up and running already, with the US pop star Olivia Rodrigo originally due to perform this weekend. But her events were among those that were called off, and now there's barely a soul around.
Members of the Manchester Arena Support Network, a group which helps people affected by the terror attack in May 2017, say they have concerns.
For safety reasons, they need to postpone the opening until they're ready. As members of the group, having the uncertainty of safety within the building is just not good. In May, our anxiety is raised because as soon as the 1st of May hits, we know what's coming, the 22nd of May, and everybody has this higher level of anxiety as it is.
Oakview says it will welcome members of the public to the arena from the 14th of May. Noor Nanji, BBC News in Manchester.
Now, finally this half hour. 3 orbits and an elf walk into a bar. No, it isn't the start of a joke. It really did happen. Take a look at these pictures. Lord of the Rings stars. Elijah Wood, Orlando Bloom, Billy Boyd and Dominic Mohan dropped into a Liverpool bistro for a drink and a catch-up while in the city for a Comic-Con event. Staff must have loved that. Looks like they're enjoying themselves. Now it's time for a check on the weather. Here's Simon King.
Hello again. It's been a fine start to your Sunday morning, especially across England and Wales, where we've had some sunny spells. And for many of us, it will stay largely dry with some sunshine into the afternoon. But I think for parts of West Sussex, while it's been sunny this morning, we will start to see the cloud increasing just with this swirl of cloud here, which has been steadily moving into the southwest of England through the morning. It'll continue to push its way north and east, bringing us some cloud and some showers. Now, those showers could be quite heavy, perhaps a bit thundery, later in the far southwest as some sunny spells develop. Sunny spells much in North Wales, into the Midlands, eastern areas of England. Just a small chance of a shower here. Thundery showers in the northeast of Scotland. Maximum temperatures about 15 to 18 degrees. The warmest weather will be across North Wales, Midlands, towards eastern England, where you'll have the best of the sunshine. And this is also where you'll have the highest pollen levels through today. Elsewhere, there will be moderate, so bear that in mind if you suffer from hay fever. Now, through tonight, still some showers across eastern Scotland, drifting away a bit further southward. We'll see quite a bit of cloud across England and Wales through tonight. It means actually that it's not going to be quite as cold as it was last night. Temperatures staying up at about 9 or 10 degrees Celsius across many parts of the UK into Bank Holiday Monday. But let's see this little area of low pressure just going out into the Low Countries, and that's just going to clip the southeast of England. We'll keep a close eye on that one because that could bring some pretty heavy, maybe thundery showers throughout the day on Monday, and staying quite cloudy here. Elsewhere, there could be the odd shower developing, but mostly dry for England and Wales with some sunshine. A bit more cloud further north in England into central southern Scotland. Here there'll be some showers as well. Some brighter weather, some sunnier skies to the far north of Scotland. Temperatures perhaps down by a degree or so through tomorrow, but still pleasantly warm where you've got those sunny spells. So about 17, 18 degrees Celsius. But then through the rest of the week, this area of high pressure builds in, bring lots of settled weather, fine conditions ready for many of us. One or two weather fronts are coming over the top of that into Scotland and Northern Ireland. That will generally just bring a bit more cloud, perhaps some outbreaks of rain as we go through the week. Temperatures here about 15, 19 degrees. But for England and Wales, plenty of dry and plenty of sunny weather, with those temperatures rising 20, 21 degrees. Bye-bye.
What does it take to become a top opera star like tenor Jonas Kaufmann, Welsh bass baritone Sabrina Tervel, and Greek-American soprano Maria Callas? I'm on a mission to find out how opera is trying to attract new audiences and reinvent itself.
I think music has the power to change the world.
Take me to the opera. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Live from London, this is BBC News. Despite a crushing defeat for the Conservatives, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak vows to stick to his plan. Some party members voice concerns over the heavy losses in England's local and mayoral elections.
We are, at this rate, we'll be lucky to have any Conservative MPs at the next election, and we need to fight, and I'm not willing to give up.
Israel's cabinet has voted unanimously to shut down the operations of the Al Jazeera news channel in the country, accusing it of incitement. Israel and Hamas have blamed each other for the failure to agree a ceasefire in Gaza as talks continue in Cairo. Entire communities are ordered to evacuate after devastating deadly floods hit Brazil, with waters continuing to rise. Hello, welcome to the programme. I'm Nicky Shaw. We start this hour with the fallout from the local elections in England. The former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, has said Prime Minister Rishi Sunak needs to come up with policies that have more relevance to people, saying Conservative voters were on strike in Thursday's local elections. The Tories lost over 400 council seats and all but one mayoral election in England. Ms Braverman said the results have left her in despair. But defending the government, Mark Harper, the Transport Secretary, said it's still all to play for in the forthcoming general election, and that Mr Sunak's plan had not yet come to fruition. Our first report is from our political correspondent, Hannah Miller.
Labour won mayors, councils and police and crime commissioners. Rishi Sunak left clinging on to just one mayor in the Tees Valley. Even his majority diminished. This morning, the former Home Secretary, one of the Prime Minister's biggest critics, warned of a total wipeout for the Conservatives.
I despair at these terrible results. There's no spinning these results. There's no disguising the fact that these have been terrible election results for the Conservatives, and they suggest that we are heading to a Labour government.
A prescription for the PM?
He needs to actually lower taxes in a way that people will feel, not tweaking around the edges. If he's serious about migration, he needs to put a cap on legal migration. He needs to take us out of the European Convention on Human Rights.
In defeat, the now former Conservative mayor